everybody, it is Andrea here, and it is Monday, October 21st, 2019, and on Saturday, Bolly and I walked in our third as a team walk to end Alzheimer's, um, and that just got me thinking about like charity walks and kind of my goals for charity walks and kind of my history of charity walks, so I thought I would do a video on that. As it was just the Alzheimer walk, I thought I'd start with that. So I actually walked my very first walk to end Alzheimer's, although I don't think it was called that. I think it was called like Walk to Remember or Memory Walk or I don't know, something like that. When I was about, I don't know, 13, 14, something like that. My mom was a geriatric mental health nurse, and we walked with her local nursing home up in Portland, Oregon. It was very different than any of the other walks that I've walked in. This particular walk, um, it was walking through downtown Portland and starting off at Pioneer Courthouse Square. In fact, I didn't even walk with my family. It was my mom and my former stepfather and I who walked in the walk, and I actually walked with another girl the entire time, and then we met up in our location at Pioneer Courthouse Square. I don't remember there being like a big opening ceremony and things like that that are now. So it was a drizzly day. I do remember that. So it was probably still around the same fallish time that they normally run. So my next walk to remember, walk to end Alzheimer's, whatever, would have been in probably 2002, 2003. I'm thinking my daughter was little. She was in a stroller, and we walked at the state capitol in Salem, Oregon. We walked with my mom and her friend, and like I said, my daughter and I, and we walked the 5K, um, and we just walked around a park that we've walked at before. And I don't remember there being a whole lot of hoopla and things like that at that one either, but you know, it was quite a while ago. So then the next walk to end Alzheimer's, which I believe was like a walk to remember, I think is what it was called, would have been in 2009. It was actually on September 11th, 2009. We did a big family thing here. My whole family was there, my brothers, my sister-in-laws, my nieces, my nephew, my aunt, my cousins. I mean, it was really big. And we walked with my mom's nursing home. I think they had like 110 walkers that year. We were all decked out in yellow, and we walked the 5K. I think we were the last ones to come back, but again, that was okay. It was in Salem at the same place we had done it when my daughter was little. And then in 2011, we did it again. I was hardly seeing it all this year. I remember that. Um, and it was on my birthday, and we did, this one was called the Walk to Remember, because I remember my daughter holding up the sign in the pictures with the mayor. And we did it then. We did it with my aunt and my mom and my daughter and I. And my daughter and my aunt did the 5K, while my mom and I did only a mile because I was doing sighted guide at the time. We only did a mile. I could have gone a lot further, but just because of the situation, you know, it didn't happen. So then we flip back to 6 years ago, not 16, 6 years ago this year. So it would have been 2014, I figured out. I was reading our church newsletter and saw that one of the church members was starting a Walk to End Alzheimer team. It would have been the first year that it was in Albany, Oregon. And since we had walked it in the past, I was like, oh yeah, let's do this. So my mom, my daughter, and I joined the team, the Unforgettables, and we did our first Walk to End Alzheimer team walk here locally, and that was a ton of fun. Huge opening ceremony. You know, it's kind of what you see now. So then in 2015, I was talking with a friend of mine about possibly starting a team for the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and she had a connection somewhere and decided that we were going to start a team that was linked up with the nonprofit that we knew each other from. So we decided to start up our own team, and we started up the team Trekkin in Tempo, which is the team we currently walk for. And that year we were just really relaxed. We were just starting this new team, so like we didn't have any like t-shirts or anything that really matched each other, but that was okay. Had a fun time. Ended up walking that year. I believe I was on chemo that year, so it was the first year I was on chemo and not feeling the greatest, but I still chose to walk. Um, so then 2017, or no, 2016. So the previous year was 2015. 2016. Can't get my year straight. 2016. We walked again with Trekkin and Tempo. We had team T-shirts, all kinds of fun stuff. Um, so then 2017 would have been my first year with Bali. We had come home in July and walked our very first walk to end Alzheimer's as a team in 2017. It was a lot of fun walking that with a guide dog for the first time and getting to know how charity walks work with a guide dog. And then 2018, Bali was Purple Pooch Grand Champion that year. So, of course, it's a lot of fun. She was decked out in a little purple fairy skirt and a bandana and ended up winning Grand Champion. Everybody was taking pictures of her. That year may have been the year that we also stood up in front of everybody for the opening ceremony. But I can't remember if it was that year or the year before. No, it was the first year we did it. We did the opening ceremony, so this video is going to be all over the place, but that's okay. So then this year we did it again. This was my 10th year of walking in the Alzheimer walks, Bali's third. And we walked with my mother-in-law and my two friends. My daughter couldn't make it this year, which was upsetting, but it was what it was. And Bali won second place for Purple Pooch contest. We were below a little dachshund in a stroller, and we beat out a golden labradoodle. I don't remember what it was. We had a lot of fun this year, and of course we're always going to do this walk. This is just part of what we do. Like I said, my mom was a geriatric mental health nurse and devoted her career to that. She unfortunately passed away in 2016, so we walk in memory of my mom. We also walk in memory of my grandmother and my great-grandmother, who both had dementia. And then we also walk in memory of my family, distant family and friends who either have dementia or Alzheimer's and things like that. So it's, I think, just a great cause. This year we had a great turnout at the walk, and we were at like 110% of our goal for the whole walk when it started at opening ceremonies. I think that's just awesome. So another walk that I've done in the past was the vision walk. So this was for the Foundation Fighting Blindness. I walked in it twice, had a team twice, but there were 3 walks total, so kind of confusing. So the first year, a girl that I went to blind school with was starting up her own team because she has one of the conditions that the Foundation Fighting Blindness does. They try to find cures for genetic eye conditions like retinitis pigmentosa and Stargardt's and macular degeneration. So she had one of those and was starting her own team. So we walked with her. We were into the light on that year. And the following year, I don't think she ended up walking, but I started my own team and we were called Seeing Through Blinds. And we had a pretty good turnout. A bunch of family and friends walked in this one with us and just had a fun time, kind of a big family event. Then my third year, I started a team, but unfortunately could not walk in it that year. But we did raise some money for the Foundation Fighting Blindness. Unfortunately, after that, they stopped the vision walks in Portland and said that you can go walk in ones closest to you, which was San Francisco and Seattle. Well, that's not super close to Oregon. So I have yet to walk in another vision walk. I think I might want to in the future because it just brings blind awareness, I think, in general. But we'll see. And then, another charity walk that I've walked in once, which would have been spring of 2018, was the Walk a Mile for a Child. This one we did, it's for the local ABC house, which is for battered and abused children. And it's a nationwide event, I believe. We walked this with my daughter and my friend. It was a lot of fun. The only thing that was bad was the pilot car was going a lot slower than Bali could handle. But it was a lot of fun. Really windy that day. And then in May of 2019, we did walk in the cystic fibrosis walk which was the Great Strides Walk. That was a ton of fun. A lot smaller than what I'm used to, but it was still a ton of fun. And we walked with a team where I met the woman through a local group, and her daughter has cystic fibrosis, but we've gone hiking with her. And then our neighbor's son has cystic fibrosis, so I think it was just a great walk to do, and we had a ton of fun. And then we also did this year the Out of the Darkness walk, which was for suicide prevention. I think this one just hits close to home with a lot of people, especially my family. And then also, I lost a friend, a high school friend, to suicide after we had graduated high school, so it's just a little bit, hard to think about that, but always do that. So my daughter and I, and Bali, of course, walked in this one for the first time. Although we had a team last year, we didn't end up walking because I don't remember why, but we did walk this year. And I think it's just important to, show support for these causes. And of course, I'm hoping to do the three we did this year. So that would be the Great Strides for cystic fibrosis, the Alzheimer walk, and the Out of the Darkness walk. I am hoping to add a couple more. I would love to do the Relay for Life for cancer. Cancer has been throughout my family like crazy, so that is always on my list, and I think I have some people who would love to do that one with us this year, so we'll look at doing that in 2020. I'm always looking for charity walks that are local. There was another one, and I can't remember. I think it was for breast cancer locally, but I can't remember. But I didn't end up doing that just because of time frame and finances at the time. But I am hoping to do more of these charity walks. I love doing them. I love spreading awareness. I think it's just a great way to spread awareness and to raise funds. And even if you can't raise funds, just spreading the support and the awareness and everything like that. So I'd love to hear if you guys have any charity walks that you might think about me doing. They might be local to you, or they might be ones that come, nationwide. I'd love to know which ones you do. Also, if you have any suggestions for ones that I could do, I think I've kind of hit all of the ones that kind of directly affect my family at this point, although I have heard of some others that my friends do, so I'm going to definitely look into those maybe. But yeah, so I love doing these, and of course, on my Life as a Guide Dog team on Facebook, you will find all of the pictures from this year and any of the past years. So I'm going to keep on walking and keep spreading awareness.